Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Raja Umar on my channel RU Speaks, and Raja Umar speaks for you for the subjects of global perspectives and Pakistan studies side by side. Again, a reminder, do not forget to subscribe my channel RU Speaks, as I am only working for you people. So we are discussing global perspectives these days, and we are discussing the development of certain skills among the students. And in the last lessons, we have talked about the identification skills, information skills, critical thinking skills, and now today we are going to talk about the research skills among the students, that how these skills can be developed. And this is really very good video for the teachers and for the students both, and they can be having those skills with them to move on in the subject of global perspectives. So here we have the presentation with me, that is the mastering your research skills, that how can you build up your research skills while studying the subject of IGCSE global perspectives. And keep in mind that this skill in you, that is conducting research, would not only meant for the global perspective subject, but it will pay you right till your academic career, and even in your profession, when you will move on in certain field where the research is the base of that institution or profession, where you will be having the benefits of this research skill what you will have learned today. So be really very much focused, as it will pay you for the whole of your life if you will be in your academic or in your professional careers in future. So this presentation explores global issues and critical thinking in you. Research is key for informed arguments and diverse perspectives. We will equip students for individual research report success. As you know that conducting research is really very important in the component 2 of IGCSE global perspectives, that is the individual report, as it is just like the research paper. And if you are having these research skills with you, IR making would be really very much easier for you, and that would be not a greater task to do. You can make a really good report within 15 to 20 days if you have really good research skills with you. Moving on, identifying your quest. What you need to be having. Number one, that is crafting research questions. As you know that the basic essence of the individual report is to make a research question in the beginning, so that to conduct research on that one, and that question should be of global importance. So it means that the research begins with the research question. So as good the research question is, as better the research would be, and it would, the better designed research question would ease up whole of your research process. So clear questions guide, well-defined questions prevent irrelevant findings, focus on manageable scope. So it means that while designing the question, find out that whether it will be a question which is of global importance or not, or it is affecting the whole of the globe or not, and what is the issue, whether it can be resolvable issue or not, or how much time it would take to resolve that issue. So all these things you should keep in your mind while crafting your research question for your individual report. So topics to questions: transform, for example, climate change to topic is climate change, and how you can design a question. How does youth activism impact national climate policies in diverse economies? So diverse economies show that this is the global question, as it is related to the global diverse economies around the globe, talking about many of the states and countries. So how this youth activism, if the youth becomes really very active towards protecting or saving the environment and having more focus and more concerns over the climate change, whether it would be really very much effective or important or beneficial for the diverse economies around the globe or not? So this is the question, really good one. So specificity matters a lot. Ensure your question is manageable for a 2000 words individual report research. As you know that your IR should not exceed 2000 words. So it means that you should be really very much limited. You cannot go beyond 2000 words. So it means that you are supposed to be designing such a question which can easily be addressed within 2000 words. If the question is so wider that you have taken 2-3 multiple issues over there in a single question, then you will not be able to discuss the causes and consequences and all the perspectives, global, national, and local, or even your personal perspective over there in, and you will not be able to draw the possible course of action, the solution, or the source evaluations over there in your individual report within 2000 words. You will not be able to sum up the things in those desired, you can say, the word count limits. So it means that you will be having really very poor individual report if you have not designed the question really very good one and specific question. Do not make a general question. For example, how can the global organizations able to meet the issues related to the poor, right? So it means that this is a very general question. Poors might be facing multiple sorts of issues. They might be having unemployment. They might be having poor standard of living. They might be having the issues of the utilities like electricity, gas, communication, and other supplies. They might be having the issue of health. They might be having the issue of education. They might be having many more issues concerning, but you cannot design such a general question. And what will you discuss in that one? Whether you will talk about the poverty of the people, the poor, whether you will talk about the unemployment factor, whether you will talk about the health issues they are facing, whether you are talking about the unemployment, the education or illiteracy among them and among their kids, or you will talking about the poor standard of living of those people. So it means that that would be really general question, and that is not recommended you people to use for the sake of your individual report. Be specific, take only one. For example, do you believe that the development of technology might be leading to the global unemployment? Yes, development of technology leading to global unemployment. Many of the things are being done by robots now, and AI is also over there now. So if AI or robots would take over the technology, and all those people who may not be very much literate of AI and the things are much really very relevant to the technology, they might be losing their jobs. So this is how you are supposed to make a really very specific question rather than the general one. So a question for students. Why is a question with multiple perspectives essential for GP? Multiple perspectives is one factor and multiple issues is the other one. Keep in mind. Take one issue and draw multiple perspectives on the single issue rather than taking multiple issues and then you will have hundreds of perspectives over there. So what I'm saying, that make the question in such a way that it must be highlighting single issue, and on that single issue there can be multiple perspectives. Global perspectives would be there, national perspectives would be there, your personal perspective would be there, and even the local perspective would also be there, and even contradicting perspectives on the single global level, national level, or on the local level, or even personal level, right? So take single issue in discussion. Navigating the information ocean, finding diverse sources, academic databases, explore beyond Google, use Juster, UN reports, and government websites. Go beyond Google. Do not only rely on Google. You can go to the Google Scholar. Yes, Google Scholar can be really very much handy to find out research-based material or information for you that might be having really very good evidences and sources given, and that can be really very much reliable information for you to put in your individual report. Then diverse perspective. Seek sources from different countries, cultures, and viewpoints so that you might be having the multiple perspectives available to you regarding that particular issue. Then, primary sources, conduct interviews, for example, local charity leaders or surveys, Google classmates, or you can also use the Google Forms for the sake of getting the public perspective in your area or in your social circle. Example, researching plastic waste, look at industry, environmental groups, governments and developing nations where this issue is really very much highlighting, that is the plastic waste, that how to decompose the plastic waste in the in world, very especially in the developing countries as they are facing this issue a lot. Then the detectives toolkit, evaluating source credibility. Whatever the sources you have got online from different sources like Google, Jester, UN reports, or from elsewhere, whether Google Scholar, you are supposed to analyze them now. Number one, crab test. Currency, that how current or how recent the information is. Relevance, how much it is relevant to your question. Authority, that how authentic the information is and how strong the information is on the basis of the evidences. Then accuracy, how accurate the information is regarding facts given, even the stats. Purpose, what is the purpose of putting in that information in your individual report, whether that will be okay, that will be helping your individual report in the positive way or not. So this helps assess the sources. Then you can easily apply this crab test on the given information you are taking from online sources. Bias detection, recognize commercial, political, or personal agendas over there in the information. As we have just discussed in the last lesson, that you are supposed to find out that whether the choco factories, they are if they are asking you to consume more and more chocolate, as this might be increasing your lifespan, it means that there is the potential bias over there in that information. Source snapshot activity, analyze two contradicting headlines on a global issue for bias. You can find out that if you see that one channel is portraying one story in one way and the same story is being portrayed by some other news channel in some other way, find out that which channel having more potential bias in that one, which channel is having some one-sided issue highlighting rather than giving the balanced reporting or balanced information in that news report. Students question, how can I identify subtle biases in seemingly natural academic articles? So this is how that find out that whether the writer or the author wants that his article must be spreading or getting viral easily on the basis of some information which may not be the correct one. That would be the potential bias over there. The major focus of the author is not to inform the people, but the major focus of the author is to get more and more views and more citations over there and on that article. So this is in this way you will be able to find out the bias in that one. Weaving the narrative, synthesizing information and perspective, building up the network of information, weaving warp and waft, lengthwise and width. I mean that you are synthesizing the information so that you might be getting a really good network of the information with you, so that you will be able to reach out the conclusion very easily. Connecting the findings, identify themes, commonalities, and contradictions. Find out the themes out of that information. What are the common things in that one, and what are the differences over there in that information? Argument building, use evidence to support claims, acknowledge counter arguments. Find out that what are the evidences given over there, whether they are supportive towards the claim and the issue or not, and acknowledge the counter arguments, that those counter arguments might be correct and even stronger from the main argument. I mean, one perspective might be having arguments and counter arguments, right? So the arguments might be stronger and even the counter arguments might be even strongest. So find out that whether the counter arguments, what the argument you are portraying, whether you are encountering even the counter arguments stronger than yours, find out them. And that is not a bad thing in the research. That is really good thing whenever you find out the counter arguments are stronger than your own argument. Avoid plagiarism. While synthesizing the information, the most important thing is avoid plagiarism, and I have already uploaded the video on avoiding plagiarism. Watch that one so that you may be having really good individual report. Use proper citations. For example, Harvard referencing style for IGCSE, Harvard, MLA, or APA, whatever the style you are using, that is acceptable by Cambridge. Example, compare 3 different policy approaches to global poverty, drawing on UN, NGO, and economic think tank reports. So find out that to overcome the global poverty, a UN report, an NGO report, or economic think tank report. So if you analyze these 3 sources, you can have the multiple perspectives with you, and you may be having the counter arguments in that one, and they might be having the facts. Find out that where there is some bias or not, and then draw the information out of that one for your individual report. Presenting your discoveries, what you have discovered out of the information from online sources. Now you are supposed to present them in the form of your individual report. Number 1, structure. Clear introduction, well supported body paragraphs, and concise conclusion. So as I have already explained in the video that how to make individual report, you are supposed to give the intro, then the issue, then global perspective, and in global perspective, the causes and consequences, then national perspective, in national perspective, causes and consequences, then possible course of action, I mean the solution to the issue, and then source evaluation, and then conclusion. This is how you are supposed to structure whole of your individual report in the best way, with supported information you have got from online sources and putting in the proper referencing right at the bottom in the form of the bibliography. Then visuals. Use charts or graphs to illustrate data. For instance, CO2, carbon dioxide emission trends. You can use 1 or 2 small charts or graphs over there in your individual report, and they will go along with the bibliography document, and you can explain those ones in your main 2000 words limit word count that will be explained over there while explaining certain perspective. Then referencing. Cite all sources accurately to strengthen credibility and avoid plagiarism. So this is how you are moving in your individual report. Well-balanced structure, visuals, graphs or charts can be presented, and then proper referencing. Students' question: what is the best way to present conflicting data without confusing my readers? So you can have the arguments, counter arguments. This is what is meant by that, the conflicting data over there. If it is there, if try to find out the potential bias. If it is there, do not use. But if there are counter arguments, they are good ones. Use them and then explain by yourself that these are contradicting and they are correct ones. Your global impact, a mini research challenge, interactive activity, mini issue debate in groups. Research a specific local impact of a global issue. For example, impact of rising sea levels on coastal tourism in local example. For example, as we know that there is going to be the rising impact of the sea levels these days, and people are really very much concerned, and the global organizations, they are concerned that the sea levels are rising. And now this is the global issue. Everywhere around the globe, the seas and oceans, their levels are rising, and that is creating problem for the climate change and environmental concerns. What is the impact of this global issue on the local community? Like, for example, if I say, what would happen if the same sea level might be rising? What would happen to the Karachi coast or the coastal areas of Pakistan, the Arabian Sea coast? So you can apply that global issue or at the local level. This is how you can move on. So each group identifies two key sources and a specific question to explore. The goal is quick synthesis of a perspective based on limited research time, 10 minutes to discuss and prepare a 1 minute summary that if there is some global issue, what would be the impact at the local level, right? In the same way that as we say that there is the global issue of climate change these days, and what is the impact coming on the locality in your area where you are living. We are having really very harsh climatic conditions as the temperature is touching 46 47 in Rawalpindi, Islamabad. Never happened. And we are having really very strong winds and storms over here for the last 1 month or so, devastating. So the impact of global climate change is coming on the local areas in Rawalpindi, Islamabad. That is what you need to discuss for the sake of finding out such perspectives and such arguments. Now the conclusion: becoming a global citizen researcher. 5 key stages: define, find, evaluate, synthesize, present. So these are the 5 stages we discussed over here, that we are supposed to define the question, we are supposed to find the information, we are supposed to evaluate the information, we are supposed to synthesize the information, and we are supposed to present the information in the best possible way in the form of the individual report. Then one long life skill. As I told you in the beginning that this research would be helping you the whole of your life. So research transcends IGCSE, applicable to university and your professional career in your future. That would be really very much helpful. One, critical thinking. Empower yourself to understand complex global issues out of this research process. Call to action: embrace curiosity, question everything, become an informed global citizen. That would be really effective tool for you to move on with the help of developing research skill in you. And now connect with me for more resources. This is Raja Omar on my channel RU Speaks. The information is given, my email address, my contact details, and my social media platforms. My YouTube channel and my WhatsApp channel is also over there. So do subscribe my channel RU Speaks for more and more resources for the subjects of Pakistan studies and global perspectives. It's over from my side. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.